Hello again. I was just listening to a foxtrot on my old gramophone. Have you seen one of these before? Probably in an old film. Do you want me to tell you how it works? First of all, I have to stop it from spinning. And let's bring it over here. This is the way my parents and grandparents listened to music before CDs or the internet was invented, and it works without any wires or electricity, by clockwork. Now that may seem a little old-fashioned, but it's very good for the planet, of course. First, you have to wind it up. It's a bit like starting an old car. And then we start it spinning. And then the needle goes onto the record. The only problem is, it's quite loud. There's no way to change the volume on a gramophone. The only way to make it quieter is to shove something inside the hole at the back here where the sound comes out. Like a pair of old socks. That's better. And that's where the expression, put a sock in it, comes from. I was listening to that music while sorting out my recycling. I was about to take these down to the bin. Now, a few weeks ago, you may have found it difficult to find loo rolls in the shops, but you've probably got some empty ones now, and I've thought of something you can make with them. Your very own loo roll Gaspard the Fox. Do you want to find out how to make him? It's very easy. An empty loo roll, of course. A piece of red or orange paper or card. A piece of white paper. A ruler. A pair of scissors. A pencil. And a pen. Now, the first thing you're going to do is take your loo roll and cut your piece of paper to the same size. Next, cover your piece of card with glue and then carefully roll like so. And then this is the tricky part. We're going to make Gaspard's ear shape. And to do that, you're going to very carefully, with both of your thumbs, push the end in. That's one side, and then the other. There. That's Gaspard's ear shape. Now, we're going to make the tail. So take the piece of card that you cut away, and we're going to draw a tail shape. And you're going to leave a little piece on the bottom, and I'll explain why in a moment. Foxes have very bushy tails for a very good reason, and it's not just to keep them warm. The tail helps them keep their balance. So next, we're going to cut out the tail shape. Being very careful with the scissors. And there we have our tail. And to fix it to the bottom, we are going to make a little slit in the side of Gaspard, just there. And we're going to make another little slit just there on the tail, not all the way through, just about halfway. And then they should slot together. There we are. There's Gaspard's tail. So now we're going to add the white parts. Take a piece of white paper and you'll see that Gaspard's face is actually a triangle, and that's the way that James Mayhew, who does all the pictures for the books, starts when he draws Gaspard's face. And if you look at a piece of white paper, each of the four corners has a ready-made triangle. So we're going to take our ruler and our pencil and just choose a corner and then cut that off. And then I'm just going to take the edges off. You'll see Gaspard's got little sloping white parts on his face there. And then I'm going to very carefully cut 2 little snips out of the centre. And this is so that we'll see some red poking through, and I'll just round that off at the bottom. It's a little bit fiddly because you don't want to cut all the way through the piece of paper. So there we are. That is the shape for Gaspard's face. The next thing I'm going to do is cut some whiskers. Now, foxes have whiskers on the sides of their face to help them find their way in the dark. So take your scissors and just make tiny little snips down the side like this. And now we're going to make the ears and the tail out of the same piece of paper. So for the tail, you want to draw a shape that's just a little bit bigger than the tip of your tail. About that size. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make the tail nice and fluffy. Being very careful not to make your fingers fluffy as well. Luckily, these scissors aren't too sharp, just sharp enough. So there's a fluffy tail, and we are going to stick Gaspard's tail on the end like so. Now let's stick his face on. There we go. Oh, he's looking a bit more like a fox now. And for the ears, we're going to cut 2 teardrop shapes from your piece of white card. But don't forget that Gaspard's right ear has got a little tear in it. There's the right ear with the little tear. I've no idea how Gaspard injured his ear, but there it is, and it makes him unique. That means it makes him very special. Nobody's perfect, not even Gaspard, and that's a good thing. There's the left ear. And now all that's left is to get our marker pen and put Gaspard's eyes and nose and mouth on. Take a good look at James Mayhew's illustration of Gaspard on the front cover of the book. You can see that as well as the face being a triangle, the eyes and the nose are more triangles. That makes it a bit easier. So I'm just going to draw those in. one. It's not easy doing this upside down. James Mayhew is much better at drawing upside down. There we go. And the nose is just here. And that's another triangle. And from the bottom of that triangle, we're going to make a little line and then a nice smiley face. There we are. Now Gaspard's looking at us. And last, the legs. And for those, I'm going to use a slightly thicker pen. Foxes have got long black legs. It almost looks as if they're wearing stockings or long black evening gloves. There's one leg. The good thing about using a slightly thicker pen is you get a slightly scratchy line, and that helps to make the fox look a bit furry. So there you have your very own loo-roll Gaspard. Perhaps you could make more than one. You could have a whole family of foxes, and the name for a group of foxes is a skulk or a leash. And you can find lots of other facts about foxes on the Gaspard the Fox website. We have a free fact sheet of foxy facts for you to download, such as a female fox is called a vixen, a male fox is called a dog, and a baby fox is called a cub or a kit. You can also learn how to spot a fox paw print when you're out walking.
Peter the Cat's big word. My big word is Nincompoop. Pronounced Nincompoop. It means a very foolish person. You might say, don't be a nincompoop. Wash your hands. Thank you. That was Peter the Cat's big word.
I was just looking out at the scruffy garages where Gaspard lives. The Gaspard stories are based on a real little fox that visits me in London. And this is the perfect time to see foxes, that in-between time when the day is coming to an end and the night is yet to begin. The name for a fox's home is a den, and Gaspard's den is just through a hole in a broken fence behind that tree over there.
I wonder who's in Gaspard's den today.
Hello, it's James here. Today I'm going to show you how to draw Peter the cat. One of the most important things about Peter is his snooty expression, so I always like to start with that first. So I'm going to begin up here with an ear. This is the top of Peter's head. You can see I'm using lots of little lines to show that Peter is quite furry. Cats have furry, whiskery faces. They're not exactly triangular, but they're kind of a little bit sort of pointy and triangular like this. So now I'm going to show Peter's snooty expression. Usually cats have eyes around here, but Peter's eyes are a little bit higher up, just up there, so that he can have a nose about there. And then to give him his snooty look, we do a long line down to his mouth like that. Then we can tell that he has his nose firmly in the air. And a few extra whiskers like that. I think Peter's going to be sitting down. So I'm going to show Peter's back now. When cats sit, they tend to have quite arched backs, like this, all the way down to there. And I'm going to show a bit of fluff on Peter's tummy, like this. When cats are sitting, they hold themselves up with their front legs, like this. sure Peter likes to make himself look very elegant and sophisticated when he is sitting. And the back legs of cats when they're sitting are bunched up like this. We can only see one of them because, of course, the other is on the other side of Peter. I mustn't forget Peter's tail, which he likes to flick around, especially when he's a little bit annoyed with someone, which happens rather often because, of course, he is such a superior cat. And now a few more lines to show just how fluffy Peter's fur is. As some of you might know if you've read the Gaspard books, Peter's other name is Fluffy, but it's not a name he likes very much, I'm afraid to say. I'm going to add a couple of butterflies over here, one of Peter's favourite things. He collects them. There's a special word for collecting butterflies that he likes to use, a word you heard from listening to the radio. And it was a word I didn't know before I illustrated the story. It's lepidoptery. Isn't that a grand word? Peter does like his grand words. Okay, I'm going to let the ink dry and then I can colour in the picture. So there we have an illustration of Peter the cat. And if you'd like to have a chance to win this, then all you have to do is create some pictures of Peter of your own and send them to the Gaspard the Fox website. Let's give Peter a sticker. I think he'd approve of that. And I will also just sign my name at the bottom. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, James. I wonder who'll be in Gaspard's den next time. I also look forward to seeing your pictures of Peter the cat. And don't forget, if you send them into the website, you could win James's drawing. I'll give you the details before we say goodbye. Since last time, lots of you have also been sending in pictures of Gaspard and of rainbows, like this colourful one by Ruby, aged just 2. And there's a message on the back. For Gaspard, love from Ruby. I suspect Ruby may have had a little help with her writing. Let's take a look at some of your artwork in Gaspard's gallery. If you'd like to send in a picture of Gaspard or a rainbow, we'd love to see them. And if you send in a picture of Peter the cat, you could win James's drawing that you saw a little earlier. You'll find all the details on the website, gaspardthefox.com. Until next time, from me and from Gaspard, bye for now.